Marshon, man, he's a guy that I can always. He's always been amazing. You know, just how he's gone about things, and I've always looked up to him ever since me being a young rookie. And you know, he put his arm around me in the back of the bus, and we'd talk about, you know, ball and everything else. So,
I mean, this was how you chose to respond to me. It was more so like, maybe you don't understand what I'm saying.
Looks like it's happening again, ladies and gentlemen. Russell Wilson's teammates, or ex-teammates, are all getting together to swap Russell Wilson's stories. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop, like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we get all that out of the way, thank you to Pristine Auction for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know about PristineAuction.com, they are the most trusted sports memorabilia and collectibles auction site. Auctions on PristineAuction.com start at just $1, and each day there are over 1,000 autographed items available. You win signed authentic signatures at affordable prices. Deals are always happening on PristineAuction.com. They have just about every player you could want, including Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and so much more. Every item on PristineAuction.com comes with a certificate of authenticity from the industry's most reputable authenticators, PSA, Beckett, Fanatics, and more. Upgrade your collection of signed memorabilia today and get $10 off of your first item one when you use registration code Mikerophone. But wait, they have supplied me with a giveaway for all of you. Here's your chance to win a Stephon Diggs signed Bills full-size throwback speed helmet. All you have to do is sign up on their website using my registration code Mikerophone to be entered. Links are in the description down below. And thank you PristineAuction.com for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? You may have noticed that we haven't made as many videos on Russell Wilson this year, and that's because despite the Denver Broncos only winning one game so far this season, Russell Wilson is putting together an incredible statistical performance, and it seems like no one's talking about it. Let's make something abundantly clear. This video's purpose is not to slander Russell Wilson's on-field performance. So far, he has a QBR of 51.1, a completion percentage of 67%, has thrown for 9 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions, and is already over the 1,000-yard passing marker. And he did that in 4 games, which is a significantly better rate than the rate he was at last year. Because last year, as you guys remember, was an absolute poop fest when it came to all things Russell Wilson, whether it had to do with Russell Wilson's actual talent on the football field or his teammates taking each and every opportunity to shit on Russell Wilson whenever they had the chance to. If you guys remember 6 years ago, Richard Sherman described his relationship with Russell Wilson. Bear in mind, this is an individual that he won a Super Bowl with and was very close to winning another Super Bowl with. But Richard Sherman mentioned how him and Russell Wilson weren't that close off the field, saying we're pros, we hang out from time to time, we get along, everybody gets along. But is my relationship with Russell the same as it is with Doug Baldwin or the same as it is with Bobby Wagner? No. But is his relationship with me the same as it is with Tyler Lockett or Justin Britt? It's just different dynamics. But as teammates, we're phenomenal. But a few years later, once Richard Sherman joined the media about a year ago, he was singing a completely different tune, especially after Russell Wilson's debut with the Denver Broncos versus his ex-team would go horrifically, and he would get memed mercilessly by not only NFL fans and NFL analysts, but also his own teammates. Some of them even sound like they resented the fact that Pete Carroll treated Russell Wilson significantly different than the rest of the team. Watch this clip from Richard Sherman's podcast with KJ Wright.
Held to the same accountability as the rest of us. You bashing the defense. I need you to at least mention his name in the team meeting room.
But there wasn't enough years difference for the accountability thing to be like that. Well, he was young. It's like, well, he was a year younger than us. Like, he ain't that young. When you got 52 guys being held to a certain standard, you got one guy not being held to the standard, then it's going to cause some friction. After a while, it had to get to the point where he chose Russ or the defense. And after the Super Bowl loss, he kind of made it pretty clear who he was choosing. And then you hear the truth from Pete for the first time, you know, after the game.
Coach Carroll is funny.
He is funny.
He is funny. You went 10 years keeping everything tight in the locker room. Let's keep it tight. As soon as this man leaves, you let it all air out.
Well, I guess you only protect the team when you own the team, kid.
Exactly.
Ultimately, after the 2022 season, if there was one thing that was clear, Russell Wilson really benefited from a rock-solid culture in Seattle. There's no denying that. I mean, Geno Smith was able to step in seamlessly. The Seattle Seahawks have a plethora of assets. They're very competitive, but they also have the assets that are necessary to continue building the most competitive football team that they can. Devon Witherspoon seemed to be a hit. He had a remarkable pick six against Daniel Jones this past weekend. And for crying out loud, what other NFL defense do you know that features Kobe Bryant and Michael Jackson? That aside, as time would go on in 2022, things would get worse for Russell Wilson, and you would see a lot of reports coming from various outlets about this man's character. People would accuse Russell Wilson of being fake. Marshon Lynch would even say that he wants to call Russell Wilson, but he doesn't even have Russell Wilson's number.
Man, I want to reach out to dog, bro, because
They'll reach out to it.
You know it
His
ain't
manager.
that. You know it ain't. Man, come
His
on,
manager.
nigga. If I can't call you direct, nigga, then I ain't calling you. Especially, nigga, if I done went to war with you.
By the way, Marshon Lynch not having Russell Wilson's number is a very interesting storyline that we have an update on for you guys today. But if you guys remember, a lot of Russell Wilson's teammates reportedly resented him for having his own office and private parking spaces. It got to a point where a bunch of his teammates suspiciously started standing up for him. Like Jerry Jeudy, for instance, took to Twitter to defend his boy, saying, "I'm not gonna keep looking at these false statements about my boy Russ, man." As a teammate who sees the elite work ethic this man has is incomparable. He got an office because he's committed his life to this game. I never had a teammate who motivated me more than Russ. 100. It says in this article that other Broncos players weren't as enthusiastic, and it was really interesting seeing this all go down because now we have an update on this entire situation. This time it's coming from a man that is very much respected, and that is Marshon Lynch. Marshon Lynch has a reputation of being one of the realest players in NFL history. This is a guy that is a little bit too honest for his own good sometimes, and he went on Club Shay Shay recently to discuss his relationship with Russell Wilson and draw some comparisons to other Hall of Fame quarterbacks that he's had, opening up by saying that he doesn't have his number.
Can't pick up the phone and call old boy or nothing.
Right.
And then, I mean, you know.
What you mean you couldn't pick up the phone? I mean,
I don't got his number.
but you would. I mean, but if you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure. I mean, you know, like I said, if you talk to any player that I played with, like, you know what I mean, I don't give a f you on a practice squad. You pick up the phone and you call me, you got something going on, you want to holler at me, then what's up?
He tells a story about how one time Russell Wilson had a really bad game, but Marshon Lynch dominated in that game. Marshon Lynch would go and put his arm over Russell Wilson's shoulders and say, "Hey, I got your back if you got mine." But in order for Marshon Lynch to figuratively put his arm over Russell Wilson's shoulder and tell him he's got his back, required Marshon to go through a lot of obstacles just to get Russell Wilson's number. Eventually, Russell Wilson would call Marshon Lynch from a blocked number so the two could talk, and for the most part, Russell Wilson was reportedly dismissive.
I'm here for you. You here for me. You feel me? You let me know. And we go like, and his response to me kind of like was like, what you? So I told him again, like, nah, bro, like, you know, I'm letting you know, like, I'm here for you. Like, we gonna rock. You know what I mean? What I was just saying. So I kind of.
So what exactly was his response? What did he say?
We ain't gonna get into all that, man. You feel me?
It was bad, huh?
I mean, yeah, considering, you know.
That you reached out.
That we on the same team, going for the same goal, and you know what I mean, this was how you chose to respond to me. It was more so like, maybe you don't understand what I'm saying.
Now, it's important to note that it wasn't all bad with Marshon Lynch, saying that Russell Wilson was just a quarterback to him and he wouldn't be the right person to speak on their relationship because he didn't with them, he didn't with Pete Carroll, and then I mean, Russ was just a quarterback to him. But just because Russ was just a quarterback to him doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, because he would also say if there's a quarterback that he would go to war with, it would be Russell Wilson, which I guess is fine. I feel like he's kind of trying to backpack off of this narrative that Russell Wilson is very much to himself, because very shortly after, Marshon Lynch would start praising Aaron Rodgers and would tell a story about how Aaron Rodgers took the fall for him on an incorrect play once when they were playing together in Cal.
I done went the wrong way.
Ah, man, damn, Beast. Damn.
I done went the wrong damn way. But this how I knew A-Rod was special. As A-Rod turning around and he looking for me, He see I'm on the other side. A-Rod pull the smoothest move I ever seen, man. That boy turned around and hand the ball off to me backwards. Running back coach, come on, what the You know I don't curse, but what the hell was you doing? I'm like, what you mean? I just scored. You went the wrong way. Before he could even get over there to open his mouth, I just hear A-Rod telling him like, no, that was me. Running back coach like, no, he ran the wrong way. I know he did, because he wasn't talking that before you came over here. And A-Rod like, no, I you know what? I did the wrong thing. Look, I'm telling you, I did the wrong thing. Give me the next play so we can run it. And I'm sitting there, because I ain't never seen no quarterback, you know what I mean?
Vouch for he vouching. He vouching for you.
So at the end of the day, what do I think about this? Russell Wilson is a very eccentric guy. And look, it takes a specific type of individual to make it to the NFL and to play quarterback in the NFL. And if this is the way you got to go about it, if you got to act a particular way, or if you have to draw specific boundaries, then by all means go for it. I was never part of an NFL locker room. I'd imagine that teams that were very close to making it into the Super Bowl would have a little bit more camaraderie than that. And I feel like as a team's quarterback, it is your job to try to bring everybody together and establish that camaraderie. I mean, let's look at this past offseason. You saw Baker Mayfield taking out his teammates for golf. You hear Deshaun Watson planning trips for his entire team so they could have these bonding exercises and these bonding moments. You have Tom Brady that historically would invite his teammates over so they could break down film, train, and try to practice a little bit earlier. I mean, everyone has their methodology. I do think it's a little odd that your running back is saying this about you. But at the end of the day, Marshon is saying that Russell Wilson's a great QB. They just weren't boys. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. Russell Wilson's having a great season regardless. So it seems like Sean Payton has worked out for him. There are questions about the defense of the Denver Broncos, but that's for a different video. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.